What is the best travel backpack? What do you even look for in a travel backpack? And should you change to a travel backpack from the normal suitcases you take on your travel adventures? We're going to answer these and a lot more questions in today's video. I've been using a travel backpack and a little day pack for all of our family travel adventures for years now. Last year, I finally convinced the family to switch over to travel backpacks when we went on our trip to Japan. This means we all got our very own carry-on sized travel backpack and a day pack for almost a month in Japan. This meant we didn't have to wait on baggage claim to get our luggage. We were very mobile. We could take our luggage with us on the trains or subways in Japan. And best of all, we didn't have to worry about being halfway around the world without our luggage because a train or a plane lost it somewhere along the way. As you can imagine, I did a lot of research before I bought my very first travel backpack, an Osprey Farpoint 55. I looked at a few different brands, including Eagle Creek, REI, Deuter, and a few others. I had several criteria for my travel backpacks, including I wanted some security options. I wanted to be able to lock it up basically if I had to leave it somewhere. I wanted it to be comfortable. One of the big things was I wanted the maximum amount of capacity in a carry-on size. And that was really important. I wanted to be able to take it with me so I didn't have to wait on baggage claim, so I didn't have to risk losing my luggage somewhere on a trip. But I wanted to be able to pack as much as possible for that trip. I also wanted it to be useful as a backpack or normal luggage. The Osprey Farpoint satisfied almost all of those requirements, and I'll get into that a little bit more later on in the video. But it really hit every one of those points for me, and so that's the one I went with. Osprey also offers one of the best guarantees in the business. It's basically a lifetime warranty on their packs, whether it's a hiking backpack, a day pack, or the travel backpacks. I've even used the warranty, and it's really like a no questions asked issue. I send it back, they either fix it or replace it and send it back to me. And it works out great. The packs are very well designed. I love Osprey packs. I think personally, I own about 5 to 7 of them. I honestly lose track because anytime I'm getting a new backpack, I generally go for an Osprey backpack. One of the main reasons I went with the Farpoint was the Farpoint 55 has a detachable day pack. I wanted to have that day pack for daytime adventures when I'm just going around New York City or out and about in Japan or something like that. So I wanted that day pack for just a few items I need on daytime trips, not full-length travel. And it integrates perfectly with the Farpoint 55. It's a feature I really love about the pack. And so that was a deciding factor for me in getting the Farpoint 55 from Osprey. There weren't many other packs out there that offered this detachable day pack option that was truly thought out and built into the design of the travel backpack like the Farpoint 55. I really love the Farpoint, and I used it for several years before I started to have some second thoughts about it. The Farpoint 55 is a great pack, and with the detachable day pack, it really is a complete travel kit all in one backpack. However, the Farpoint 55 is technically not carry-on sized. Even though it will fit in an overhead compartment of a normal sized plane when you're traveling, you could get caught at the gate and have to check your backpack, which is something I didn't want to have to do. I didn't want to worry about. It never was an issue. I used it several times. Like I said, I always put it in the overhead carry-on bin, never had an issue, but it was just something that kind of bothered me. I also wasn't a huge fan of the shape of the Farpoint 55. It's longer and shorter versus you can see the Porter is short and fat. So I feel like even though it's smaller, I like the way I can pack in it better. I can really stuff this thing full. And you can see the adjustable straps on top to really cinch things down or open it up so you can fit more stuff in this pack. The other thing that really appealed to me about the Porter 46 is this is the largest backpack that Osprey makes that is within the carry-on size. So again, like I was saying with my criteria early on when I was looking at travel backpacks, I wanted as much space as I could possibly get in a carry-on sized travel backpack, and the Porter fit that bill very well. The one downside of the Porter that really had me hesitating just a little bit was that it didn't come with that detachable day pack. I'm always going to take a day pack with me, and it was great on the Farpoint 55 that it zipped right onto the pack, so I could take that with me, and it was all a single backpack. I wasn't struggling with trying to carry 2 bags. It was just throw it over your shoulders and go, and everything you need, the travel backpack and the day pack, were all in one package. And the Porter didn't come designed that way. However, the Porter does have the ability to integrate a day pack into it. You can see these little loops right here, and there's more up here at the top. That works with the Daylight Pack series from Osprey. Now, the Daylight comes in 2 different sizes, the Daylight and the Daylight Plus. Both work with the Porter backpack. I got the Daylight Plus, so I had a little more space in the day pack. It is a little cumbersome getting it on the Osprey Porter. It's not like the Farpoint where you can just zip it on and zip it off real easily. It is a little more cumbersome, but it satisfied that need, and it gave me a pack that I like better with the day pack that I can integrate into it in a single backpack I can throw over my shoulder. I'll talk about the Osprey Daylight Plus series in another video to follow this one. But what that did for the Osprey Porter is turn this into the perfect travel backpack for me. And so that's what I use. That's actually what I got for Hunter, and that's what I got for Allison. Like I said, Kelly still uses my Farpoint 55 without any issues. He really likes that pack. He actually uses the day pack for his school books and everything else all the time, day in, day out. Been a great pack for him. But I really prefer the Porter, and so does Mommy and Hunter, and so that's the one we went with and added that Daylight Plus so that we had our day pack integrated into our travel backpack. As I said, when I first started doing research for travel backpacks, there were a few criteria that I looked at, and the Porter satisfies all of those. So one thing I think is really cool is you can tuck these straps away into the pack here. And then you have no straps or anything hanging out when you go through a security checkpoint and it's on the rollers, or if you do have to check your bag, you can tuck all those straps away and it's not going to get caught and torn on anything. It also has a secure laptop sleeve where I can add a lock to my laptop sleeve. It's protected by padding on both sides. It also has a smaller sleeve inside where I put my Kindle, but it's big enough for an iPad too. With those straps packed away and the waist belt packed away, it has a handle up here so you can use it just like regular luggage. Like I said, that was one of my criteria. It has 2 little straps, or 2 little D-rings right here that you can add a shoulder strap to. So if you just want to throw it over your shoulder, carry it like a regular suitcase, you have that option as well. It really fit all of my criteria, and I have to say, it has been a great travel backpack. I call it the best travel backpack available, and I really believe that is the case. This is the perfect travel backpack for me, and maybe for you. Of course, I'm going to put the links to all these different things down in the description, so take a look down there if you're interested in any of these backpacks or day packs and accessories that go along with them. I've used the Porter 46 for a lot of trips. Like I said, we used it for almost a month in Japan. I've used it on several month-long trips to the Florida Keys. When we go to Minnesota and rent a cabin up there, I've used it there. And this is it. Between this and my day pack, that's pretty much all I pack. The Osprey Porter is not super expensive, but it isn't cheap either. I don't really have an issue paying a little bit more for a travel backpack. And the reason is, before I switched to a travel backpack, I would replace my luggage about every year, sometimes even less. I've had this Porter for about 5 years now. And remember, we travel about 200 or more days a year as a family, and this pack goes with me on all of those trips. And I've had 0 issues. So that's 5 years worth of luggage that I haven't had to buy. So to me, it kind of balances out, but it is gonna be a fairly significant price to begin with, somewhere in the $150 to $250 range, depending on which pack you choose, would be my guess. As far as negatives go, there are a couple. Neither of them deal breakers, but I will go over some of the things that are just not quite up to perfection with the Osprey Porter. One is, I mentioned the D-rings for the shoulder strap. Well, it doesn't include the shoulder strap. Osprey requires you to buy the shoulder strap separately. Now, that's not a big deal, but at this price point, $180, $200 for a travel backpack, I would think Osprey could throw in the shoulder strap. I mean, is it really that big a deal? But like I said, you have to buy it separately. I've never really felt a need to use a shoulder strap, so it probably just would have gone into a drawer and I never use it anyway. I wanted a backpack, not a shoulder bag, but it is what it is. To me, that's a con. It should have come with it for that price point. The other negative, small negative, is, like I said, it doesn't come with a day pack versus the Farpoint 55 at basically the same price point, comes with the detachable day pack. I think it would have been great for Osprey to include a Daylight or a Daylight Plus with the Osprey Porter purchase, since that's the pack that's designed to attach to the Porter. Again, you had to spend an extra, $80 to $100 to get the day pack or the Daylight Plus to attach to the Porter. Not a deal breaker. For me, it was just a solution to the problem I had of wanting a day pack plus a travel backpack integrated into one. May or may not be a deal breaker for you, but for me it was not a deal breaker, but it definitely falls on the negative side for this travel backpack. Other than those two little things, really, we love our Osprey Porters. We use them all the time. It's great to have everything we need right on our back and with us at all times when you're boarding a Disney cruise or running through an airport terminal to catch your next flight. You have all your luggage with you. You're not waiting on a porter to bring it up so you can get in the Disney cruise pool, or in Japan halfway around the world wondering where all of your luggage is. We love them. They're great. They go with us everywhere. And I am continually amazed with how much stuff I can cram into this Osprey Porter and put it right up in the carry-on bin. As I said, links to the Porter, the Farpoint, all these accessories and other things that I talked about will be down in the description below if you're interested in learning more about any of these products I mentioned. We'd love to hear what you think of travel backpacks. Is this something you think you might use, or do you use one already? Let us know down in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Well, I'm off on my next travel adventure with my Osprey Porter. We hope you'll join us and keep on dreaming. Love you all.